Poets. My name is Sally Baker, and I'm the host of We Poets. We Poets is a poetry show for boys and girls between the ages of 6 and 13 years old. So if you would like to be on the program, please have your school teacher or your parents call me at the number which will appear on the screen, or email me, and you too can come and be with the fun. Have fun with us, I'm also going to interview two adult guests today, a mother, a son, and a granddaughter, and they're going to tell you something about themselves. Our first guest that I'm going to interview is Ms. Leona Welch, and then I'm going to interview her son, Jamar Welch, the second part. So here we go with Leona. Hi, Leona.
Hi, Sally. It's good to be back here after 40 years.
40 years. Where have 40 years gone, girl?
Well, I asked somebody that the other day, and they couldn't tell me.
They couldn't tell you.
Yes.
Well, what have you been doing since we last saw each other?
Oh, my goodness, that's a long, long, long story, and I understand I've got a few minutes to tell that, so I'll get right to it. But before I do, I want to say to this audience that Sally Baker has done a phenomenal job in keeping this show going for 40 years. I spent a lot of time in the Bay Area running around trying to turn everybody's child into a poet, and they call me the poetry lady. Here's a poetry lady here, and I want to commend you that you have brought self-esteem and honor to students that I've always want them to believe that they're natural-born poets and that they have the right for people to listen to them, and you are giving them that. So thank you, personally, in front of the people.
Well, Sally. Thank you so much, Leona. And now tell us something about you. Tell us about your background first.
I am a retired community college English instructor. I taught English for 35 years, 15 years at Diablo Valley College. I'm published as a poet, playwright, essayist. I contribute regularly to a newspaper. I am by passion a writer. And I like to tell people that when I was born as a twin, when the doctor slapped the life and the breath into my twin brother, he said, it's a boy. And when he slapped the life into me, he said, it's a poet. And so poetry is a passion. It is not something I just write. It's who I am. I have a number of books on Amazon, and I'm going to be reading from this book. This is my heart here, because I also have a ministry for seniors called SAGE, Seniors Advancing God's Excellence for the AME Zion Church. And I'm very much aware of the stigma put on age, and so I decided that I was going to take back old and restore some of the dignity and the grace to that word. So the book I'm reading from is called Taking Back Old, Poetry Celebrating Old Women. I've been writing and publishing, and I'll continue to do that. I also play with my grandchildren. I have 10, but I have a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old who recognize me as their playmate. I play hide and go seek. There was a time when I could crouch down in the corners, but now I find a place to hide where I can stand and get out easily. I do that. I'm an ordained minister at Carlos Temple AME Zion Church in Vallejo, and I do ministry, so I believe in keeping busy. There's no grass under my feet, Sally.
That's right, that's right. So you work for all ages, from children to
seniors.
Seniors.
All the way through, yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, where are some of the places you go to work with the seniors when you do your outreach?
Well, I've gone to senior places, but I go into convalescent homes, hospitals,
Good.
And things of that sort. I think wherever there is somebody, there is a way to get to people through the word. I have not done it in a while, but I hold workshops where seniors can write.
Good.
I consider poetry as a catharsis as well. I do workshops called Write, W-R-I-T-E, Write to Heal. And that's also very important work for me.
Good, good. Now, are your client, I guess you'd call them clients, are they all ethnicities?
Yes, all ethnicities. I am a cross-generation. I believe in crossing lines.
Yes.
If we don't cross lines, we never know who's on the other side of our line, right? Yes. Diversity. I mean, God made people, and He didn't make us all the same.
That's right.
And everybody deserves a right to express themselves.
Now, did your parents write?
No, as a matter of fact, I'm glad you asked me that. My parents didn't write, but I grew up in Mobile, Alabama, where I say the metaphor grew up on front porches, because a lot of the talk, when I think back on the expressions of my parents, was poetic.
Yes.
They were poets and didn't know it. But no, they didn't write. But they had the heart and soul and sometimes the language of the poet.
Did you write any of their poems? Publish any of their things that you wrote about them into your books?
I'm going to read one of the poems about my mother.
Oh, good.
That's in here. I've got a couple of poems about her.
Okay.
And then I'll read one or two more. And
okay, why don't you read those now, and then we'll come back with more conversation.
This is to my mother. It's called Love Was. And this is me growing up in Mobile, Alabama, in a family of 9 children.
9? Never a dull moment in your family.
Never was.
Ooh.
It's called Love Was. Love was warm kitchen vapors and midnight smells. I got hungry and got up. She was there, sipping Lipton and greasing her hair. I got hungry and got up. She was there, some white potatoes in a sack, she said, while she rubbed Vaseline in her head. Fried potatoes good before going to bed. They got hungry and got up. We were there, sipping Lipton while she greased her hair. French fries soaking on a brown paper bag, what's left over from what I had. Warm kitchen vapors and midnight smells, sipping Lipton, she cares. Passing fries, I care. Biting one and passing it on, they care, because she was sipping Lipton and greasing her hair.
Cute. Oh, how nice.
One other of my mother loved to use, and this is not to be a commercial for oil of Olay, but that was her favorite to put on her face.
Oh, good.
And when she got older, I insisted that even though I helped her, I wanted her to do as much for herself as she could. So sometimes she couldn't get the lotion on right. And so I wrote this poem for her, Oil of Olay Lady. Soft, bone-thin hands receive the creamy pearl drops. She streaks short lines of fragrance across her cheek. Baby supple and very unold cheeks. Feeble fingers dab on the chin across the forehead. Worried, but not worry-worn forehead. Atop the nose, splat. 'Cause we're going somewhere. I note the spot she misses. Silently, I promise to rub in the rest, 'cause she likes looking good. Oil of Olay, lovely lady. But this beauty in a bottle didn't make her style. It only made her feel her own.
Oh, isn't that nice? What a nice tribute.
Thank you.
Describe your mother to me.
Allie Nicholas. Well, I didn't get my shortness from her because she was average size, a slight built woman who loved to waltz, loved to dance, had a beautiful voice. As a matter of fact, I hear her voice singing around the house all the time.
Good.
My daddy sang too, but my mother loved singing. And she wasn't a quiet person, but she wasn't loud either. She was someone who had faith in my writing. I used to make up stories and read them to her. If nobody else would listen, my mother would listen. My mother was a warm person who cared about people. My mother and my daddy taught me. I think I got the thing for taking care of the older people from them because they were always going to somebody's house with a pot of soup. Compassion, both of them. And it was John and Eileen Nicholas in Mobile, Alabama. A shout out for them.
Oh,
Yes.
was it a small town where you lived?
In Mobile, no, Mobile is a metropolis. It's on the bay, and we, larger than Oakland, a large, pretty nice sized town, city. Mobile is, yeah. Julius La Rosa sang a song years ago about Mobile.
Aha.
Yes. That's how big it was.
Yeah. Now tell us about the churches there
In Mobile,
when you were growing up.
oh, well, I grew up as a Catholic, you know, raised in the Catholic Church, and I am now in the Amy Zion Church, African Methodist Episcopal Zion Church. The church in our community was part of the community. The church was not separate in the community here, and they were the same because I grew up in the era of your child is my child and mine is yours. And so we met up at the church for a lot of things, and it was community as well as going to church to serve God and going to church to be with God's people.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. What were some of the other activities that you participated in as a child and a teenager growing up?
Well, there were the school dances that the nuns walked around and looked at each couple to be sure that everything was as it should be.
Oh.
And there was family things, dinners, community events. Your family, my family, you know, all the families together did a lot of things together. My neighbor could spank me.
Yes.
And would bring me in at the same time to give me a bowl of soup. So the community was very strong.
We don't have that so much today anymore.
Sadly.
Yes.
Sadly. In pockets, but not like it
Yeah,
was.
no.
It takes a village to raise a child. That came from, that's an African proverb that came from the black community and spread abroad. Yes. And I think I have time for one more poem. Is that it?
Yes, go right ahead.
Okay. This poem is very, very important to me. It's called I Am Still Here, a poem concerning Alzheimer's. And I share this poem for anyone who has Alzheimer's, because they can't speak for themselves, but anyone who's taken care of, to give them some kind of encouragement.
Yes.
I am still here. Beneath this unfamiliar, quizzical, and often non-responsive face, I'm still here. In this maze of vague and undeclared questions I can only stir deep down in my still vibrant soul, questions never passing my lips, questions never reaching your anxious, hopeful ears, I search for us both. I breathe on yesterday's conversations stored up between us. Yes, my mind is more acquainted with oblivion than it is with cognition these days. But please know that I am still here. Though my laughter may not surface to meet your tremulous smile, my heart moves toward the love in your eyes. On some mysterious plane between us, a connection is realized. Stay. Even when I stare, or when that blanket of fear grips me, even when I take a stiff, cautious step away from you, when I turn from your needful embrace, even when I boldly and claimly ask you who you are, please know that I am still here. My mind has gone off on its own, but my spirit stayed behind and knows you. Though my mind has retired, my soul is very much on duty, alerting me deep down to the quick where my love lies. It tells me that I have held you close. It tells me that I have reached and found you there, that we have lived responsively in each other's lives. It tells me that we have laughed at the meal table and talked late into the night. My spirit attests that we quarreled now and then and made it right again. It tells me that we often sat staring out at a world with plenty of woes, but with more of what is worthy. You, me, my soul knows. So please, heart to heart, soul to soul, let us breathe. Don't walk cautiously, timidly, or fearfully through my door. Don't be on guard for the worst. Don't greet me with a nervous voice. My heart hears it all. My soul knows you. So come, Move with loving assurance. Walk through my door like you know that I am still here.
Oh, great, 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 great. Yes, yes, yes.
This
and
is one of the-
Alzheimer's is so
Yes.
terrible. Wonderful, wonderful.
This is one of my most important poems, I think.
That's right. Now, before we end our interview, again, tell our audience where they can get a hold of your book.
My book, Taken Back Old, along with The In-Between Gang, which is a juvenile novel that takes place in Oakland, and a devotional called God of the Parking Lot, recognizing the God who loves us in the details of our lives, and Tupac Rahab in Them, a book on compassion, are on Amazon under Leona Nicholas Welch.
Would you spell that out for some of the people?
My name?
No, how to on your internet
Oh,
Or
my.
you-
Oh,
or email?
yes. My website is These Are the Daughters at yahoo.com. These are the daughters at yahoo.com.
Good, good.
Thank you.
Thank you. What a wonderful interview, and so good to see you after 40 years.
And you know what? We're not going to let it be another 40 years before we
You
come
better
back.
believe it.
Thank you so much, Sally.
So
for
now I'm
having
going to
me.
interview your wonderful son.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just have a seat right here. Welcome back to We Poets. I'm Sally Baker, the host, and now we're doing our second interview, very special, father and daughter. So, without further ado, here's my second guest, Jamar Welch. Hi, how are you
Hi,
tonight?
Sally, how are you?
So good to see you.
So great to be back here again after such a long time.
Can you tell us about how long it's been since I interviewed you on We Poets?
I'll tell you, but don't tell anybody. It's been 40 years. I was here when I was 10 years old, and I just made 50 years old a few weeks ago.
Isn't this great? It's so good to see all these little
It's
poets
good to
that I
see you
interviewed
again.
when I first started out, all grown up now and with a beautiful, beautiful young daughter. Tell me about your beautiful daughter and give me her name.
This is my beautiful daughter, Nandi. She is 3 years old, and she will be 4 years old next week, September 29th.
Oh,
And this is her very first television debut.
she started
with
out
her-
younger than you did.
Yeah, she has a head start.
Uh,
Yes.
Isn't that something?
But it's really wonderful because today she's with her father as well as her grandmother. So it's a generational thing.
Isn't
And we
this
all
great?
love poetry.
yes.
And we all don't mind being on TV together for the first time.
Can you wave at the television station there, or the television camera? Do you think you could sing me a song?
Ooh.
Do you think you could sing me a song?
No.
No.
Well, what was the song you were singing earlier? There's a cartoon she likes a
Oh.
lot. What was it, Baby Shark?
Good.
If we help you, will you sing it?
Come on,
Maybe
Dad,
not on
sing
the
it.
spot.
Come on, let's sing it together.
Well, we'll sing it. Maybe she can join in.
Yes.
Baby shark do 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 do. Baby shark do 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 do. Baby shark do 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 do. Baby shark. Not joining in?
Oh, she's turning her head.
Got a little shy first time on the camera.
Oh.
Now this is not how she is at home.
Oh, I'm
she
sure
sings
she's-
all day, all night.
Oh, I'm sure, I'm sure,
And
yeah.
dances. She's taking dance classes at the East Bay Center for Performing Arts in Richmond. She
Already.
took her first dance exploration class. And she's also taking a hip hop class with Deontay Watkins at the East Bay Center. Hold on, the interview's not over. And this is a very high chair. I don't want you to fall.
No, don't fall. You're such a pretty girl. I love your eyes. They're beautiful eyes. Wow. Well, now let's come back to you, Dad. So tell us what you've been doing since I last saw you 40 years ago.
Wow. Well, in a nutshell, I became a dancer and a professional dancer and a dance teacher.
Good.
As well as I went to school for acting, and I've done some acting in commercials and plays. I grew up doing my mother's plays when I first started, and now I'm at the East Bay Center teaching, where my mother was a director and writer, and started me off as an actor with her plays. So once again, the generation is continuing because now she's taking dance classes at the same place that my mother introduced me to. And my mother introduced me to We Poets, and now here I am introducing her to We Poets.
Isn't this great?
Yes.
Now tell me, what are the
And-
students like and what ages are they that you teach?
I teach all ages, elementary school, junior high school, and I have adults, fitness classes for adults at night. Right now I'm in after-school programs. I'm working with the East Bay Center of Performing Arts, as well as Bay Area Creatives, which is an after-school program that teaches both dance and poetry in junior high schools, and every once in a while we go to a college.
Great.
Yes.
So you go out and give presentations?
Yes, we do presentations, assemblies, or whatever the rallies are, the Black History Month programs, whatever is relatable to what's going on that month into the schools, and we get them excited about us coming into their school to teach them how to do what we're doing. So it's like a mentorship program.
Good. Now, can you tell us where people can contact you?
I can be contacted at Yahoo, Jammer4HA at Yahoo is my email, JAMMER, the number 4HA.com.
I love you.
I love you too. and I can be also reached on my Instagram, which is just iMagic, AMAJIK.com.
We'll pull that up on the screen so people can call you if they want to. Now, where is the Performing Arts located, where you teach?
The East Bay Center for Performing
Yes.
Arts is located in Richmond,
Would you give us that
right
address,
off of
please?
McDonald Avenue on 11th Street. I think it's 331 or maybe 337
Sure.
McDonald Avenue in Richmond, California. East Bay Center for Performing Arts.
And what are the hours?
The hours, they're open from about 9 a.m. to at least 6 or 7 p.m.
Every day of the week?
Yes.
Wow.
It was except for Sundays.
Oh, yes, of course. Wow. And it's accessible. How do people get there if they don't drive?
You know, it's about 3 or 4 blocks from the Richmond BART station,
Good, good.
and so it's very accessible. And it's smack dab in the. We have to cut it. I just lost my.
That's all right. That's all
Lost where it
right.
was, but anyway, it's right down the street from the Richmond BART station. It's easy to get to.
Now, what do you like to do for extracurricular activities when you're not that busy?
Well, I stay creative. So if I'm not dancing or teaching dancing or playing with Nandi, then I take time to play the piano. I love to play the piano in my spare time.
Good.
And obviously, I like to write poetry in my spare time.
Now, what do you write about? What topics?
Any topic that inspires me. I don't have anything. I'm not in a box or anything like that. It's whatever. So if I'm at a picnic and I'm laying down on a blanket and I see a bee and it interests me, I might write about that bee. If she's doing something interesting in the house, I may write about her behavior. If I'm feeling a certain way, maybe a little stressed out, I might just write just to relieve stress. So whatever, just to make me feel good or just to challenge myself at times and play around with words.
Good.
Dad.
Have you had any of your writings published?
I have a new book coming out. It's
Tell us
called,
about that.
It is called Alive and Well. It should be out within 3 to 4 months, published by the Urban Book Company. And my first book, so I'm very excited about it. And I brought about maybe 2 or 3 poems from the book that I could share with you today.
Good. Go ahead.
I will go straight into it. And I'm going to do it off of my phone if you don't
Okay,
mind.
that's fine.
Okay, are you ready?
Bye-bye.
No, not yet. We'll look at camera 3 and say this poem. This one is called Searching for Pollen.
Okay.
All right. And like I told you, one day I was just laying around the beach and I saw a bee and we connected.
Oh, how
And
sweet.
so I wrote about it.
Oh.
Thank you. Now I really have the energy to do this poem. Searching for pollen. I really don't think about it that often. The day that my body will be laid down in a coffin. I'm scoffing at the thought of the inevitable fate. Everybody's got a date. I plan to be late. Be still.
Hey.
No rush. I can wait. Busy as a bee till death will I create. Lively, with a disposition sunny. The hive be filled with bees and sweet honey. Through this jungle on a road less humble. Buzzing on a mission, all about my bumble. The green grass, where he got his power. And he stole the pollen out of a field of flowers. I mind my business, some perceive me as mean. They know if aggravated I won't hesitate to sting. Waiting for the spring, or till death is calling. Living like a bee, searching for the pollen. So bee, just like me, what I produce is sweet enough to stir up in your tea. And that's no debate. His fate was to pollinate and make me straight. Chillin', buzzing, cousin, living life slow. He helped other organisms bloom and grow. Yo, he's happy to be alive, buzzing, looking for the queen bee from hive to hive. Why is that? To handle his beeswax, 15 miles an hour, his tiny wings flapped, laid down some sap. And what did he see? A new colony, bees, 60,000 deep. He had to wait his turn for his mate, but little did he know he was falling for the bait.
Bee, 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 bee.
You gonna make me lose my... You're gonna have to start over on that one too. She made me flip my poem over.
So the bees
You do a pickup?
were drawn
Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
to the grass.
His fate was to pollinate and mate, and he's straight. Chillin', buzzin', cousin. Living life slow. He helped other organisms bloom and grow. Yo, he's happy to be alive. Buzzin', looking for the queen bee from hive to hive. The handle his beeswax. 15 miles an hour, his tiny wings flap. Laid down some sap. And what did he see? A new colony, bees, 60,000 deep. Had to wait his turn for his date. And didn't know that bees die right after they mate.
Oh, what a wonderful poem. You write long poems like your mother.
Oh, thank you. Some are shorter.
Some are shorter. That's good. Wonderful, wonderful.
Can I do one more, Nandi?
Yeah.
Okay, this one's called Roses.
We got 2 minutes.
Okay. I saw them chilling all in a field of meadows, under the sun shining bright via petals. Equal in nature, they formed in various colors. A flower is a flower, but I like them more than others. Oh, but let me just warn, if you grab them by the thorns, be gentle, they're delicate, or your skin will get torn. So, before you pull them out of that soily place and give them to your lover on Valentine's Day in a vase smelling good enough to taste, oxygen and good vibes filling up the space. Remember the clock ticks, not much time to waste. Limited lifespan, they will die in haste. It's part of the plan. No life lasts, not trees, plants, flowers, grass. Whatever breathes eventually must leave existence. For instance, just look at we. No one man can survive to end. You live to die and die to live again. Until then, cherish the beauty and stay humble until you petals black and crumble like roses.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Like I say, you write just like your mother.
Thank you. That's a big
Nice
compliment
long
because
poems.
she
She's
is
so
my
great.
favorite writer.
You better believe it.
And I'm not just saying that
Wonderful.
because she's my mother. I'm saying because she's excellent and talented.
Yes, yes.
And I'm glad to be cut from the same cloth.
Yes. Have you written any poems about her, your mom?
Yes, I have written poems about my mother, about my family, and about Nandi.
Of
and I wish I
course.
could sit here and do them all, but
Well, you'll
maybe
have to
next
come back.
time. Yes.
Next time.
Thank
Well, I
you.
want to thank you so much for coming. You did a
Thank you for
wonderful
having
job.
me, and thank you
I'm
for
so
letting me bring
proud of
Nandi
you.
with me.
Yes, so proud of you after all these years, what you've done. You're a wonderful man and a good role model to our young boys.
Thank you so much. I
Yes,
appreciate it.
indeed. So, without further ado, we're going to say goodbye to our audience.
To
and
camera
we're go-
number 3.
This is your time to wave now. Can we
Ready?
say, come on.
That one.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
Say we poets.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye,
Can
everyone.
you say we poets?
But we poets.
Yeah.
You did a great job, sweetie.